That's right. So you have a birthday coming up here, man.
Yeah. Me and Elvis. Battle of New Orleans and Elvis.
So 65?
65.
65.
Yeah. I'm on Medicare.
Well, you've been on Medicare, right?
No.
I thought it was 64 and a half.
No, I was on Medicare as of yesterday midnight.
Does that mean you can get rid of that other insurance that you got? Or
That means, I just don't have to pay anymore on that.
are you going to purchase one of these like supplemental
No,
plans?
fuck, that's a racket.
Well, you probably wouldn't use it enough anyway, right?
Well, but that's a racket. It's essentially a fucking insurance policy they want you to buy on top of Medicare.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been on the receiving end of that shit professionally, for years and years and years, or was anyway. And people are either going to pay you or they're not going to pay you.
Right.
And and my policy was if they can't pay you, I just say screw it. Just don't bother.
Right.
And or I say pay me $5 a month or something.
Yeah.
So that you feel like you're paying and
right.
Just hell, I was making enough money.
Yeah.
And the thing about the Medicare rates at the time, and I imagine it's still the same way, if every insurance company, regardless of, any insurance company paid the set Medicare rate,
right,
which was $32 a unit when I was working, consistently. So nobody would be upset about that.
Yeah. Is that for time? Per unit?
Well, it's for the units per case and the units per time.
Okay.
One unit every 15 minutes.
Okay.
And that's a fair. That would be a fair price if it was paid overall. Welfare, Medicare, private insurance, out of pocket. Nobody would be gouged.
Right.
But the problem is, welfare doesn't pay you shit. It cost me as much to walk in, it cost me as much out of pocket to walk into a welfare case for a 20-minute case. Like a DNC. It cost me more. I lost $30 on that.
So you would actually lose money doing like
a short welfare case. Yeah. Now some of the longer ones, at least, you could buy a couple sandwiches or pizza after the end of the day.
That's what you made.
Well, you were making, you were breaking over more than your malpractice insurance.
Right.
Because your malpractice insurance for per case.
Yeah.
And I always calculate per case.
Right.
You do 700, 800 cases a year. Divide that into $30,000. Figure out what your malpractice cost per case is. Yeah. John, $60, $70, $80 a case just to walk in the room.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. But $32 a point. Now I was charging $41 a point. That was my official rate when I stopped working in 1991. Lord knows what it is now.
Oh God, it's probably astronomical.
But a lot. There are a lot of cases I'd take Medicare only. Just I wouldn't balance bill them. But if you do that too often, then they won't let you balance bills.
Okay.
So you have to.
You kind of have to do it.
Yeah. I used to give professional courtesy to docs. But I had to stop doing that and just charge them just Medicare only. Because one year I lost $32,000 in fees by giving professional courtesy to docs because Dr. Kersey worked on a lot of docs and I did most of his anesthesia.
Right.
Yeah. I just couldn't justify it anymore.
But you can bill Medicare.
No. Then that's fraud and abuse.
Why would that be fraud and abuse?
Because that's the way you define it. They get to make the rules and you don't get to say a thing. That's called government.
So either you charge them directly or you don't charge them at all.
In effect, I think that's what now goes on pretty much all the way around. No, it's most guys aren't working for themselves. They're hired hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go in. I'm gonna click the time card. no desire to, embrace the wind at the high point of the hill and be the best you can and charge for it. Fuckers. Thanks, government. Thanks for making us all turned into a bunch of feminine
Well, how
weeds
is the
and
government
wimps.
responsible for hospitals trying to
Because
cut costs?
because the regulations have made it the most rational choice for people who are of less than top-notch ability.
Right. But most people aren't of top-notch ability.
That's
I mean,
correct.
if you believe in the bell curve,
That's
right?
correct.
I mean, so
that's correct.
there's a bunch of doctors out there that got C's in medical school.
I want to be dealing with people outside the second standard deviation.
Sure.
At least.
Well, who doesn't?
Well, then, in order to expect to deal with somebody like that, you yourself have to be that way when you are working.
Yeah.
No, I committed a misstatement. You have to be outside the third standard deviation when you are working.
Yeah, but
That's the way of the world, and that's what everybody should strive for. Period.
it's sort of a utopian view, right? I mean, there's plenty of guys out there. There's plenty of guys out there who are smart enough to know that they're not that good.
It's a view that reflects my experience.
Sure, I'm not saying it's a bad
view. By the grace of God, I was
yeah.
very fortunate to have that experience.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you, but I'm saying there's a lot of guys out there that are smart enough to know that they're not smart enough.
Well, and that's that's being very smart indeed.
Yeah, but there's a lot of guys out there that realize they're basically just an average doc, and that they're never going to be any better than an average
and
doc.
there's nothing wrong with being that. But don't drag down those of us who want to fly independently.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, and
There's nothing wrong with being a hired hand. Hell, I've been hired hands at several times in my life. Hired hand. There's not a thing wrong with it. Just be the best fucking hired hand you can be when you're being a hired hand.
Well, but that's just sort of like, that's kind of how you should approach everything you do when you're working for somebody or doing something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't phone it in.
Speaking of phoning it in, in my backpack, I have a stack of grading this high that I had the best of intentions of touching over break, but I haven't yet, and I guarantee you when I go home after this fine visit today, I'm not going to touch it. I have basically this unofficial, unspoken policy that I've developed over the last several years of, I just don't, if I'm on vacation, I'm just not doing any work. And I'll wait till I go back to work, I'll
It's not like, the end of the world, the world's, world
Right.
peace depends on
No.
whether some kid knows whether he gets an A or a B or a C or
Yeah.
a D on, what are you on now? What part are you on? What part of history are you on?
Oh, we just started the revolution.
Oh, okay. Well,
in U.S. history.
Well, the old standard, write an essay on the proximate, the deep and proximate causes of the American Revolution.
We're not there yet. We're getting there. We're past that.
And then
We're
you
past
say,
that.
using Marxist theory and Frederick Hayek's
Yes. Yeah.
Market capitalism theory of economics as the root cause.
There you go.
Oh, here's a good question, and it's really something they ought to be thinking about from now on the rest of their lives. Is what role did the American colonial system of private property, as contrasted with private property rights in the mother country, have insofar as promoting the rebellious spirit?
I think Gordon Wood has pretty well covered most of that. But yeah.
It's my shame I have not read him.
Oh, he's.
I know. I've got the book. Yeah. At least my heart's in the right place.
Well, just let's pause and consider for a moment. There's probably less than 0.5% of the U.S. population even has any idea who Gordon Wood is, right? So, like,
Well,
right,
interestingly, you know where Gordon Wood got shamed or kind of besmirched or talked down about before, because he used to write for American Heritage magazine.
Oh, I know. Yeah. And I'm going to go on record right now and I'll tell you that there is nothing wrong with American Heritage.
No, there's not.
American Heritage is actually a really cool magazine.
That came out at the height of what some people have called middle-brow U.S. culture.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, middle-brow U.S. culture, at its best, in the 50s and early 60s, not a thing wrong with it.
No.
It's a bit, it's not politically correct a lot of the time, but that's good.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And there's this one economic historian that writes for them.
I was a subscriber to American Heritage for 3 years.
Oh, I did too. I did
4 years.
Yeah, I did too.
And actually, I was a subscriber for the first, within the first 5 years. I used to use articles all the time in class for American Heritage.
Well, the reason I even knew about it at all was my grandmother, subscribed to it.
Yeah, okay.
When each one came in the little hardback.
Oh, that's fancy.
I actually have her collection.
Really?
Yeah,
okay, that's pretty fancy. I forget how.
Which means someday you'll have that collection.
Yeah. Aunt Maggie, I think, gave me a subscription as a Christmas present one year. I think is how
that would be something she'd do. Yeah. I had no problem with Aunt Maggie. I think she and I sort of had an understanding.
Sure.
Yeah. She knew that she didn't really want to like me, but she knew that on some level she kind of did.
Well,
and I knew that I knew that, and then she also knew that I was getting a kick out of knowing it.
Right.
So it's sort of like
Aunt Maggie, man. That's about as close of a relationship as you're going to ever have with her, I think. Probably.
Well, it's cold up there,
Yeah. And she's still up there, alive and kicking.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. And ATP being generated is better than no ATP being generated.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Particularly in your brain. Generated and broken down. Generated and broken down. Generated and broken down. Turning stuff you eat into stuff that you have in your body and out your body. Process. Staving off the second law of thermodynamics as long as possible.
As long as possible. What's that?
Before you end up in ultimate entropy land.
Ultimate entropy. I like that.
Ultimate entropy.
That's
land.
A great way to ultimate
entropy.
What's happened to him? He's entered a state.
Yeah, he's in complete entropy
He has reached total entropy.
That's right. This minus S term has reached infinity.
He has
achieved in the equation.
He's achieved complete and total entropy.
Minus S equals infinity.
Oh! My buttocks hurt.
Well,
we rode 18 and a half miles.
It's better. You did? Mm-hmm. You're insane then. Although I used to run.
We rode. I didn't run that.
Oh.
If I ran 18 and a half miles, I'd be dead.
Well,
we rode our bikes 18 and a half.
I once rode 72 miles from London to Winchester.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I told Brad after we arrived at the hostel, the youth hostel.
That's insane.
Well, I mean, it's insane to stay in a youth hostel. I would have been better off just, laying down by the riverbank.
Yeah, well, sure, yeah.
Well, and it would have been less humiliating and upsetting and annoying.
Yeah.
Because there's no check-in, time at, last call or opening of the door on the riverbank.
Right,
you can just
right.
go on
You
the
can
riverbank.
go sleep whenever you want.
Well, it turned out that's basically what we did after that. Because neither one of us ever wanted to stay in a youth hostel.
Oh, no, I wouldn't,
I think the very sound of its name in English tells you something about why you don't want to stay there. Hostel.
Yes.
It sounds like hospital. It sounds like a place you're going to die.
Right.
I'm sure you're going to, when you're 19 years old and wanting a good time, it's certainly a place very like going to die.
Oh yeah, I've never experienced the youth hostel.
No. Good. Don't try.
I won't. I'm no longer a youth. I don't think they let me in. A youth.
Oh no, it's amazing. There's really, there's a lot. Most of them now don't have. I mean, well, they didn't then. I mean, now admittedly, most guys, most sentient beings over the age of say 25,
would take one look at that.
Don't want to. Although I understand they're a lot more free now.
Well, so this guy I used to live with, Chris Hall, he went over to Europe by himself. Saved up a bunch of money, went over to Europe by himself, but didn't have a ton of money. So that's where he stayed. And he was probably, well, how old were we? He was probably about 24, 25.
Let's see, so that would have been in what? Help me do math.
So, shit, I don't know.
Well, that would, it would be late 90s.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking from 1971.
Well, that's the point is that I'm making is that and he said it was great because he basically went in there and they basically
good show.
You party with a bunch of people you don't know.
Well, see, that's good. That's good then. That's good. See, no, that would be fine.
Yeah, he sat around and partied with a bunch of people.
That was not the culture.
I'm sure not.
In the youth hostel, the youth hostel in Winchester.
In Winchester.
Winchester, It didn't help him. It felt like my crotch was about ready to.
Well, that was a long ride. That's a long.
Well, no, okay, it's a long ride. Okay, that's of course it was on one of those fucking idiotic things where you're like this, like you can't say. So you have to basically break your neck.
Yeah, so your neck is constantly hurting.
And you're going down. I can't remember I think it was the A4. I think.
Dear Lord, it's amazing you're like alive.
And of course, you've got these huge fucking behemoths of the road going by you at about within millimeters.
Oh yeah.
I am not shitting you. It was about this close a lot of the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Well, I soon came to realize that it wasn't an act of hostility. It was an act of skill. They could. I mean, they could have so easily just blown me off.
Sure. Yeah.
But they missed me.
They were nice enough to not hit you.
They missed me.
It was an act of skill.
And so I kind of grew to admire the skill of the
British, UK driver,
UK English, truck drivers. And of course, then when we finally, when we had enough sense to ditch those fucking bikes and ship them back to Helen Weinland's place down there in London, did that at Reading. Started either taking trains or buses primarily, or hitchhiking.